Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2021 Ford Ranger Lariat, and today I'm gonna review it for you guys. You know, it's been a really long time since I've reviewed a Ford Ranger, and I've never done a Lariat before, so I figured we could dive in and take a look at the creme de la creme of what the Ranger has to offer. Before we begin, I want to thank Koch 33 Ford for allowing me to review this vehicle. For all your Ford needs, you can visit Koch 33 right off of Route 33 in Easton, Pennsylvania, or at their website, koch33.net. So it's really funny, in that opening shot, I parked on the other side of the dealership lot because I thought it was going to be really quiet, and it was. Nobody was around. And right as I started filming, a car carrier pulled up and started unloading cars, then a septic truck came up, and then all the landscapers came up and started weed whacking and mowing. You're also going to get LED fog lights on this Ranger, as well as 2 tow hooks down here and parking sensors. I'm like, is this a joke? Am I getting punked? Is this like just for laughs or something? So anyway, I moved the Ranger over to hopefully what is a quieter part of the dealership, though I don't know, maybe the same thing is gonna happen. Regardless, moving on to the actual styling of the Ranger, you'll get full LED headlights, these really nice LED daytime running lights. You do get incandescent turn signals, but you will get LED fog lights on this Lariat, and then you'll have parking sensors below that and 2 tow hooks. I do really like how it spells Ranger across the grille here. You know, a lot of people have been very divisive on the styling of this new Ranger, seeing that it's been sold since about 2012 in overseas markets and it was only brought over in 2019, so it came over already pretty dated. I definitely do think it looks a little bit dated, but I still think the styling is cool and looks very trucky. I believe for the 2022 model year, the Ranger is getting an update in the looks department, so that's something to look forward to. Moving underneath the hood, this Ranger Lariat, just like all the new Rangers, is powered by a 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, making 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, and that is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Hopefully for the 22 model year, there will be more engines available for the Ranger, though this 4-cylinder outputs a surprising amount of excitement. It's very exciting. Wait till we get to the driving section. Moving on to the profile of the Ranger, I always have really liked the stance of this body style. Starting with the wheels and tires, you're gonna get Bridgestone 255/65R tires around these really nice 17-inch dark gray wheels. I think they flow really well with the other dark gray accents on the truck, especially in this dark color. Then above that, you're gonna get the Ranger badge right there with the Lariat trim. And then moving up to your mirror, it's going to have a turn signal indicator incorporated into it, and it is body color. And then you are gonna have blind spot monitoring incorporated into the mirror right there. Moving to the door handle, this does have keyless entry, so if you have the key in your pocket, you can tap that right there. That's going to lock the truck, and if you put your hand behind it, that is going to unlock the truck. Very, very useful feature. And then moving here, you do have a capless gas tank, so all you have to do is put the fuel right in there. That's really modern. A lot of vehicles are adopting that. And then you're going to get your Sport 4x4 sticker back here. And then you're going to have your blind spot monitoring incorporated into the taillight right there. And it's gonna say Ranger in the taillight. That's really cool as well. And then moving to the back here, you'll have Ranger stamped into the tailgate, and it says Ford above that with the backup camera integrated into the logo, as you can see right there. So opening this tailgate up, still no dampened feature from the factory. I do believe it is a dealer option though to have the tailgate dampened. This one is going to have a spray and bed liner, which is really nice. Though there is some tie downs, there's no LEDs or anything in this particular bed. It's a basic work truck bed, but it gets the job done for sure. And then if we put the tailgate back up here, we can move a little bit lower. You'll see body color bumpers, and then there are parking sensors right there And then below that, you're gonna have your tow hitch. If properly equipped, this can tow up to 7,500 pounds, which is pretty impressive for the mid-size truck segment. Now, before we move into the interior, I just wanted to highlight the key very quickly. In addition to lock, unlock, and panic, you tap lock once and double tap on the remote start button. That will actually remote start the truck automatically. Moving to the interior of the Ranger, let's start with the door panel right here. You're gonna have one touch auto down and one touch up for the driver's window, though the other ones are manual. You have to hold all the way down for those. Then moving up to the top here, you'll have lock and unlock on the door. Unfortunately, this is hard touch plastic here. It would have been nice to have seen a leather texture since this is the Lariat, the highest trim of the Ranger currently available. Moving over here, you're gonna see the mirror controls and your lighting controls right there. And then if we back up to the steering wheel, this is very interesting. Most cars are gonna have a center screen flanked by two traditional gauges. But in this case, you're going to have one traditional gauge, your speedometer, flanked by two screens. There's no tachometer in this truck, at least it's probably digital. So that was very interesting for me to see. And then another really funny thing here, as you can see, it says full power accessory, fuel low. So I go to the steering wheel and I start clicking OK, and it's not going away. And then I realize that there's another set of controls right over here that eliminate that. Ah, the duality of man. Two sets of controls on the steering wheel for the two screens in the gauge cluster. Very interestingly, you might be asking yourself, well, what do these two screens do differently? This one is your display mode, your trip information, fuel economy, basically the driver settings, stuff like that. And it's also going to tell you how your fuel gauges, stuff like that, your battery, your how many miles are on this truck, etc. While this one over here, very interestingly, is going to give you like your navigation, your phone, your entertainment, stuff like that, which is really interesting as well. So you can get all of that through that screen. I really like that, though this does seem to have been a feature on some older Fords. I say older, I mean like 5 or 6 years ago. I believe the Explorer and the Taurus had these infotainment systems, or gauge cluster systems rather. And you know, this whole interior kind of just feels like a Ford vehicle from, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. It's still very nice. It's very premium. I mean, if we go up to the dash here, you'll see the nice leather that this has, if it focuses. With the stitching in here, I mean, look at how nice that is. It feels very premium. You get your Bang & Olufsen sound system in here with some storage. I mean, look at all the premium high gloss materials that are in here. It's very nice. It just feels a little bit older compared to some of Ford's other current products in their lineup. Now, the infotainment system is pretty quick for being a smaller screen, but you know, you'll get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto through this. I'm not a fan of it being angled like this. I wish it was a little bit more straight up, but I still definitely think that it's very responsive, and the audio quality is pretty good on this thing. Below that, you'll have your hazards and then your climate controls. This is equipped with heated seats, being the Lariat. And continuing the theme of the duality of man, there is two 12 volts right here. Don't know why you'd need two, but the Ranger comes with it. You'll also get two USBs down there, and then you'll have your auto engine start stop button, your rear locker, your traction control off, your parking sensors off, and your towing button. And then you'll get your different drive mode selector right there if you want to go 4 low, 4 high, or 2 high. And then you will get a standard center tunnel shifter. So if we throw this thing into reverse right now, you'll see it does have a decent backup camera, though the resolution is a little bit grainy compared to some of the other stuff I've seen, especially from Ford. I recently did a couple of their new F-150s, and the screen resolution on those are incredible. This does have parking sensors in the front and rear, as I've mentioned though, so if you get close to something, they will start beeping, which alerts you, which is, again, very nice. You'll have 2 cup holders right here, and then you will have a very nice leather armrest right here, and then you can open that up, and inside just some good storage in there and a holder for a pen. You will have a traditional parking brake, which I really like. I'm not a huge fan of the electronic ones. Overall, though, the interior of this is really, really nice. If we move up here, you just get a standard mirror. It is auto dimming. And then you do have a nice little sunglasses holder and your LED dome lights in here. It definitely feels very premium, if not slightly dated in here. The steering wheel, especially the leather, is very comfortable, as well as the seats. Overall, pretty impressive showing. I don't know if I'd say this is the nicest mid-size truck interior, though it definitely feels incredibly premium in here. I just don't really think the mid-size truck segment has a leader in luxury. It really feels like they've been behind in a lot of areas across the entire lineup of brands. I don't really think one stands out with an incredibly luxurious interior like the full-size trucks are currently doing. They are really, really competing hard there. So hopefully the mid-size trucks will increase the quality of their interiors, especially on their premium models for their next generations. Before we move to the rear of the Ranger, something that I noticed that I wanted to point out is when I turn the truck off here, it says, please check rear seats for occupants. I recently did a Silverado and an F-150, which also had that warning, which makes me think it's probably federally mandated on new vehicles now, which is crazy. How many parents are forgetting their kids in the back seats? And the inevitable answer to that is clearly enough that they had to make this a warning on all new vehicles. But it got me thinking, what if you don't have kids? Is this like a warning for, like serial killers? Like you're just driving home alone and you turn the vehicle off and it's like, quick, check the back seats. Ah, there's a serial killer back there. Thank you, Ford. Moving to the back seats, there is a decent amount of legroom back here and a tiny bit of headroom. Definitely, if you were taller than me, I'm 5'9", you're gonna have a little bit of a cramped time in the rear seats of the Ranger, but that's pretty much across the board for any mid-size truck. There is a lot to like back here though. So if we move into the center here, you're gonna get 2 USBs. Disappointingly, no USB-C, but you are gonna get a household outlet back here, which is really cool. You never see that in the rear of any mid-size pickup truck, even rare on the full size. So it's really nice that Ford knows their market. No climate vents, but you do get a little storage cubby back here, and the premium feel of the front doors extends back here. You do get a nice little leather insert, but again, I do wish it was up here. This is still hard touch, and that's where most people are probably going to be resting their arms. One more thing I really do like back here is you get a fold-down armrest with cup holders. The Tacoma doesn't have that, and I don't believe the Colorado has that either, so it's really nice that the Ranger includes this. It does also have a manual sliding rear window. I've said in the past, this is a Lariat. This is about $44,000. I really wish that this was power. My Tacoma has a power rear window, and the higher F-150s have power rear windows, so it's clearly possible, and Ford knows how to do it. I just don't know why Ford doesn't do it on this truck. Though, one good thing is that this actually has heating elements in it, so you can turn on a defrost if it's really cold outside. That is something my Tacoma does not have, though it does have the power sliding window. One last thing back here, you can okay, I'm gonna have to get out to show you this. So there is going to be some under the seat storage in this Ranger. There is a little pull tab right there, and you can lift up, and there is not as much room as some of the competition, but it is really nice that you are able to do that, and then you can just pull it again and drop the seats. Additionally, if you want to bring down this middle row, you can pull on this. Whoa! Went flying out of my hands. We're going to keep going. You know what? Screw it. We're going to keep going. You can pull on that tab, and it's going to fold this flat down. And obviously these headrests do fold down as well, so you can get a kind of flush load floor back here. Unfortunately, they don't fold in sections like some of the other competition does, but it's really nice that Ford has added that. I really think out of all the back seats on midsize pickup trucks, this is probably the best, with the USBs, the center armrest right here, and the household outlet. Ford really knocked it out of the park with the rear seats in the Ranger. All right, driving the 2021 Ranger. Not much is different on the interior or the exterior for this new Ranger as compared to the 2019 model, but it is just as peppy in its drive as it's ever been. This thing is so jumpy, like you hit the gas, it wants to go, which can be a good and a bad thing. I mean, if you really like sporty trucks, the Ranger is the truck for you. This thing flies like nobody's business. It handles very car-like, which I know a lot of people really like. I am more of the trucky kind of guy. I like how my Tacoma handles. A lot of people complain about the Tacoma handling. I think it handles really good. Yes, this definitely has a better gearbox than the Tacoma with the 10-speed automatic transmission, and you don't feel, it's very smooth when I accelerate here. You know, you don't feel anything with gears jumping or anything like that, or being floaty or downshifting. It's very, very smooth. Thankfully, the price for this has come down. There's much more incentives on it. So now this definitely feels like it's much more in line with the Tacoma competition-wise, because it's not 6 or 7 grand more expensive. There was just no way you could justify a Ranger, even an XLT, for the price when compared to a Tacoma or a Colorado, because it was so way further up there. But now it's definitely a much more manageable price in line with its competition. So I feel way more comfortable recommending this truck if you're looking for one because of that price reduction. So that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe, that would really help my channel out as well. And I am a Christian, so if you have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comments section. And I like to do a weekly Bible verse, so here is that. With that being said, I am so thankful for you guys. You are an amazing audience, and I'll see you next time.